So, good morning, everyone. Let's start. I think we should start maybe. So, today I thought we could try something different. Just like mind is, it's wants to try different things. So, many a times when we are trying to bring our attention to breath, uh, because breath is so subtle, although it's still tangible, but it's still there, very subtle, like in comparison to more concrete, real voices of our head. Uh, so many techniques have been recommended, which at times, if it suits us, we can use. And you may have already practiced it, but it is called equal breathing. So we breathe equally. Some of us may have tried it even, and it's very. I found it very beneficial, especially also when we are trying to sleep and lost in thoughts, and we are not uh, easily letting go of our thoughts. So if we try equal breathing, it lets go of the trail of thoughts and we can come back to breath and the mind can quieten down. And even for morning also, or any time when we want to bring our attention to breath, uh, and it gives us something like more solid to hold on to, because you are usually we are manipulating our stories or in the head, and now with the same manipulation we are manipulating the breath. So we still remain the manipulator, but the breath does its magic and it brings us back home. So we I found a short video on it. Maybe we can look at it and try to follow. And but that's just a like an intro, and we usually this week we can do without any video also, but maybe we'll try with the video first, because it creates a circle and the seconds are going on 1 2 3 5 4 5, and then you can just open your eyes, look at the video, you don't have to count, and stretch your inhale until 5 counts and then stretch your exhale until 5 counts. Or when we are doing it without the video, then we can just inwardly count. So the idea is to have a long exhale, long inhale, and put our focus on the breath rather than remaining immersed in the thoughts, so that the mind is home and relaxed. So let's try this out, and yeah, I hope people resonate with that or maybe benefit. So I'll just maybe it's better to put the video on, because then you can see. Yeah. So whatever, for the duration that we are sitting, we just be doing a equal exhale, equal inhale. Like if for 5 seconds I breathe out, 5 seconds I breathe in. So we start with that, and we can listen to the instructions also that he's sharing here.
Sit upright, but not too tense, and start to become aware of your everyday breath. Once you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get started by first exhaling and letting all of the air out of our lungs. And we'll begin with our inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Keep going on your own. You might start to notice that maybe your inhale is unsteady or your exhale is unsteady. Maybe you breathe in too quickly or you let all your air out at once. This breathing exercise is hopefully going to allow you to find steady, controlled breathing both in and out. As this is a more difficult breathing exercise, if at any point you need to take a break or you fall out of rhythm, that's okay. Return to your everyday breath. When you're ready, come back to your inhales and exhales on that 5-second count. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in breathing out. We'll go through a few more cycles of our breath. Maybe you've gotten into a good routine and you're able to close your eyes and count on your own. Maybe you're still following along with the screen, and that's great too. Let's take one more breath in and one last breath out. Start to come back to your everyday breath. Allow yourself to come back to the present moment. Become aware of your surroundings. Let go of the numbers. And notice and ask yourself if you feel any differently from when we first started breathing together till now. For some of you, you might feel the same, and that's okay. But for many of you, because equal breathing does typically bring more calm and peacefulness to our bodies, hopefully you're feeling a little bit different. Thank you.
So this could be just a starting point when we are trying to maybe do the sitting meditation for some time, and even we are walking and in the middle of a market anywhere, and if we want to bring ourselves fully to the present moment, maybe thoughts are a little too much, and the regular breathing, since it is subtler, it's not helping that much, and you are getting scattered again in the thoughts again. So we can start with this. I was wondering that we can initially do the equal breathing, and then, as he was suggesting, that then we can do the shamatha practice, that we can do just observing the breath for a longer duration of time if it suits our needs. So if there are any questions, we can take now, and then we can do a longer practice without the video. Yeah, anyone? So I'm hoping that all of us were able to do it. So we'll just do it for the rest of our session, maybe around 10 minutes or so, and after that we can take if any comments or reflections. So let's do it for 10-12 minutes or so again. And as we settle with the equal breathing, then again we can come back to our normal breathing. It's just that since it is a little forceful, we are manipulating, so it brings our attention to the breath, because usually bringing attention to the breath may be a bit tricky. one may get again lost. So since we are manipulating, we'll be stuck here. Usually we are here, and if we observe the normal breathing, then we are not manipulating the breath, so it still our attention wanders away. But here we are manipulating, so because of the manipulation required, it brings our attention to the breath. So let's start. We can reduce the count if you're having troubles with the 5 count. It doesn't matter what count it is, it just has to be equal in breath and out breath, and then we can continue our regular normal breathing. And we can also enjoy the gaps if you're able to observe. We can enjoy the gaps between in breath and out breath. And when we are ready, slowly with more practice, we can widen the gaps. We can stay more in the gaps and then also pause, take a longer pause between the out breath and in breath. So 5 minutes more, we'll continue with the practice. So mind is home with the body, with the breath. And it's rested in its home. But not trying to jumble and work itself up with the storylines. And slowly, when we begin to experiment with this practice, we can actually enjoy the experimentation also, increasing the pauses between when you in breath and out breath. You can actually for a long time, one can hold breath, and that also relaxes a lot. And it is said that this also creates a lot of harmony in the body, and I'm sure we can feel it in the mind and feelings also. And we don't have to just be sitting for this, we can do it anywhere when we want to, whether we are lying down or in the middle of a market, standing in a queue, trying to pass our time. This can actually be a very good time pass tool, a good one, a healthy one, where we can just remain home and anchored in our present moment. So we can take any, if I don't know if we were trying it for the first time, some of us may have tried it earlier. So if there are any questions or comments, you can share.
Monica, so often the focus becomes on the counting rather than the breathing. So is that okay? Does that happen with everyone?
Yeah, I think that's okay, because here you are actually trying to make it equal. So if in
Yeah.
the beginning the focus goes more on counting, so like I'm trying to, okay, let it be equal, it's completely fine. And that is why that video was shared, because
Yeah.
then I don't have to count. I just look at it and it happens. So
Okay.
yeah, that's completely fine. And slowly, as we become adept without counting, knowing that it is equal, then
Yeah.
we won't be focusing more on counting. The idea is that we are just anchoring ourselves with the breath, whether it's through counting or not through counting, it doesn't matter. Because usually with the regular breathing, if I say, okay, bring your attention to breath, it's a regular breathing that is going on, and it's nothing
Uh-huh.
special. So the mind has a tendency to slip back again to the thoughts. It's very easy then. But here, because I'm manipulating, it's not easy to slip back. So yeah, that's okay.
And as I've told you earlier also, the mind gets so attached to that, trying to find that gap, the pause between the in breath and the out breath.
Mm,
I I mean, I just cannot feel it.
yeah. No, but you will find it. So it's just the more we practice it, we realize that then we are able to make our breaths slower and longer. Like
Hmm.
slowly, slowly, we are taking those 5 counts, and slowly, slowly, it is being exhaled. And then when it becomes slow and rhythmic, then you can't help but notice the pause.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to happen. It's like a byproduct. And then when we notice the pause, then you can slowly begin to enjoy the pauses. You can make it longer, like hold the breath, and take the other in breath maybe later than what you would do earlier. So it would be a nice friendship with the breath, like a little play.
Mind becomes so active, where is that gap? Where is that gap? Why can't
Yeah.
I feel it? If she
Yeah.
can feel it, why
But
can't I feel it?
if you're thinking that much, then you will lose the equal breathing. You will realize
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly that I
Right.
realized.
Huh.
You talking about the gap, that's what
Huh.
I realized.
Huh.
That the mind took over.
Yes, yes. And then it's okay. It's completely fine. Then I bring my attention again to equal breathing. First we have to settle with just the base, like we learn music. The first day our music teacher does not give us a song to sing. It
Yeah,
says, okay, sa, re, ga. You don't even go beyond. Sa, re, ga is enough.
yeah,
So,
right.
yes, so we have to then stick with this little steps, then it will be fine.
Okay, thank you so
Mhm.
much. God bless you.
Thank you. Usually it happens with us that we want to become a concert singer on the first day itself. I want to be a concert singer without practicing the baby steps. So that we have to little, enough follow.
Okay.
And as we begin to enjoy the practice, then nobody has to tell us really. We'll be intuitively guided what to do, to hold or not to hold. It's not a problem. So the only thing is that I must want to sit with it, and I like fall in love with the experiment. So falling in love, I think, is very important. Otherwise, if we are doing it just because someone told it, then it's not fun. And if it's not fun, I would be like pressurizing myself to do it, and not much progress there can happen. But if I'm now enjoying the practice and finding fun in it, delight in it,
Mhm.
that, oh, let
Yeah,
let me sit today and see what happens, like that, then it'll be good. Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
Mm.
Because sometimes it feels like a task,
Yes,
you know,
yes. So if
that we
it's
are
a
trying
task,
to sit and we
then
are trying to
yes,
sit.
yes, then it'll be a
So
problem. So
that's,
we have to make it joyful. Yeah. Any practice that you are doing, not only this is just a suggestion,
yeah,
right?
true,
So any practice that you do and you find joy in, that you will be able to continue longer.
right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. We have to remember again and again that delight is the basis of our existence, Satchit Ananda. And without delight,
Mhm.
things can't go on. So, whatever we are doing, if we can find delight in that, or we can do what we find delight in, that will show us the path. Okay, so anything else? Anyone?
Yeah, just a small
Mm-hmm.
observation. When I started with this, I didn't realize, but my breathing was because I was counting, right? So the breathing was coming in spurts. Like I was taking a long deep breath. It was like one, two, three. So I was doing the jhatkas in the breath without realizing. But as soon as I realized that, okay, I'm doing it in spurts, and I stopped that spurt, suddenly there was a change. Then it became smooth because it's not a mechanical training. It wasn't like that. What do we call it?
Mm,
Marching,
mm, mm,
which has thug thug thug. So it was like, oh,
mm,
okay, yeah.
mm,
So that's
mm. Beautiful. So I think of course, it is part of the process. And just like we can relate it to learning any skill, if we are learning how to make a goal roti, all of us may have tried that. How to make chawal without making them stick to each other. In the beginning, the jhatkas are there, as you said, but slowly our intuitive guidance takes over. It has to happen because all of us have, sorry, all of us have that intuitive guidance. So slowly, as the intuitive guidance takes over, then it becomes smoother and smoother, and then we know, okay, which way to go, whether to stop, hold the pause longer or not. all that is guided from within. So, yes, we have to trust that guidance. All right, so happy practice, everyone, and happy evening or good morning. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
have a
Have a
good day.
lovely
Thank
day.
you.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.